Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into Carl Jung's incredibly fascinating and, honestly, deeply paradoxical views on the human psyche. Today, we're looking at how Jung actually understood religion. He didn't just see it as a collection of historical beliefs, but rather as an active, living architecture right inside our own souls. So whether you're a depth psychology veteran or you're just curious about how our brains process the great unknown, stick around. We're going to explore the defensive structures, the hidden shadows, and the absolute ultimate destination of the human mind. Let's get into it. Now, think about this quote for a second, because this is Jung's ultimate paradox. He's actually suggesting that organized religion mediates and distances us from a raw, personal encounter with the divine, or what he liked to call the numinous. We usually just assume religion exists to help us connect with the divine, right? But Jung completely flips this on its head. He's essentially saying that a direct, unmediated encounter with the ultimate unknown is so overwhelming, so intense, and honestly, maybe even a little terrifying, that we literally need a buffer just to survive the experience. Section 1. The Ultimate Shield, Structuring the Numinous. Okay, so here's the crucial takeaway. Religion isn't always giving you a religious experience. Oftentimes, it's carefully shielding you from the sheer force of one. Think about it like this. Imagine you are standing completely unprotected out in a wide open field during a raging, awe-inspiring lightning storm. That raw, untamed power, that's the direct divine encounter. What organized religion does in Jung's framework is it basically builds a really sturdy house around you. It gives you walls, a roof, and lightning rods, which take the form of rituals, traditions, and dogmas. It structures the whole thing. You still know the storm is out there, right? You can hear the thunder, but you are safely tucked away, distanced from a direct strike. It takes something totally incomprehensible and organizes it into a format the human mind can actually handle safely. But Jung didn't just stop at the idea of a defensive wall. Here's where it gets really interesting. That exact same protective structure, once you actually understand what it's doing, transforms into this profound tool. It becomes a map of our own internal unconscious. Because those very walls protecting us from the storm, they're covered in symbols that can teach us everything about our own inner landscape. Section 2. Language of the Psyche, Translating the Subconscious. So this brilliantly illustrates how religion acts as a kind of translation dictionary for the hidden depths of our shared mind. You've probably heard Jung's term, the collective unconscious. Basically, it's the foundational bedrock of the human psyche that we all share, no matter the time period or culture. It's packed with these profound hidden realities. But how do we even talk about something so deep and intangible? Well, Jung argued that religion gives us the exact symbolic language we need to express those deepest levels. The myths, the parables, the holy figures. For Jung, these aren't just historical events. They are the actual vocabulary our brains use to articulate the shared human experience, living deep, deep down inside that collective unconscious. Section 3. Becoming your true self, the destination. All right, let's dive into the absolute core of Jungian psychology, individuation. This is your personal quest for authenticity. For Jung, the whole point of human development isn't just surviving or conforming to society, it's individuation. This is that profound, often messy, psychological journey where you take all the different fragmented parts of your mind, the conscious, the unconscious, the good, the bad, and you integrate them. You become your complete, unique, absolutely true self. He believed it's literally the most important work a human being can do. And religion, when understood symbolically, can act as a hugely powerful guide on this journey. Let's be real, the journey of individuation is incredibly difficult. You are navigating the deep, uncharted waters of your own mind. But when you use religious structures as a psychological map, they provide the crucial support you need to figure out who you truly are. By giving us a symbolic language, solid moral frameworks, and these epic stories of human struggle and triumph, religion acts as a guide. It gives us a framework that's been stress-tested over centuries. It provides this supportive scaffolding to help a person understand their internal conflicts and ultimately find their way to their most authentic self. Section 4. The Shadow of Dogma, the Warning. Now, we have to talk about the dark side of all this. On this journey inward, there are definitely some dark corners, and Jung issued a massive warning here. He warned that religion can easily become a dangerous projection of the shadow. So what's the shadow? It's the darker, unexamined aspects of ourselves. We all have one. It holds the parts of our personality we just completely refuse to acknowledge. Our deepest fears, our repressed anger, our selfish impulses. And the danger spikes when we refuse to look at our own shadow, and instead we project it outward. Jung saw the immense, very real danger of human beings taking their own internal darkness, projecting it straight onto religious structures, and then completely confusing their own toxic baggage for the will of the divine. If we don't keep that psychological projection in check, things go south really fast. When the shadow infects the structure, that beautiful protective shield we talked about earlier, it hardens into rigid, suffocating dogma. It breeds deep intolerance because suddenly a person's unacknowledged hatred or fear is being perfectly justified by a twisted religious framework. Ultimately, it just creates a totally distorted sense of spirituality. The very tool meant to spark individuation and growth gets turned into a weapon. It suppresses the individual and the people around them, all because someone simply failed to recognize their own psychological shadow pulling the strings.
Section 5. Nurture or hinder, the double-edged sword.
So this brings us to the grand synthesis of Jung's incredibly complex views. He recognized that organized religion is this highly sophisticated, multifaceted paradox. It simultaneously has the power to beautifully nurture our personal growth or totally severely hinder it. On one hand, we have this incredible potential. It can be a guide, giving us the symbolic language to actually achieve individuation. But on the flip side, there is a profound risk. It can trap us completely. It can lock us inside rigid dogma and become nothing more than a vessel for our darkest, unexamined shadow projections. It really all comes down to the psychological self-awareness of the person engaging with it.
It is way more than just a simple set of rules. It is a wildly complex piece of the human experience that demands active self-awareness if you want to navigate it safely. Jung didn't just label religion as simply good or simply bad. He saw it as this profound, double-edged sword that has literally shaped what it means to be human. It's a protective shield against the overwhelming rawness of the divine, but it's a shield we have to be super careful not to hide behind forever. It's a map to our true selves, but it's a map that is incredibly easy to misread if we're looking at it through the distorted lens of our own unexamined shadows.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a pretty profound question to mull over on your own journey toward individuation. Take a look at the structures in your own life, whether they are religious, philosophical, or honestly even just your daily routines. Are they acting as protective shields, keeping you hidden away from raw, authentic experience? Or are they acting as bridges, actually helping you cross over to become your true, authentic self? Jung's genius was showing us that the difference between a wall and a door often just depends on how deeply we understand our own minds. Thanks so much for joining me for this one. Keep questioning, keep learning, and keep striving for that true self.